Good morning, everybody. Welcome to day 2 of working with inscribed angles. So the way I'm going to run this video, I'm just going to work through every single problem, but I do want you guys to try and pause the video and work on some of them. All right, try to do some of them on your own. If you want to start from number 9 and work through all the way to 16 and reference the video to check your answers, or for a little bit of guidance, you can do that. But I do want you ultimately to attempt some of these on your own. All right, so starting off with number 9, what I notice right away, we only have one angle labeled. However, that inscribed angle intercepts a diameter. Okay, the inscribed angle intercepts a diameter. So when that happens, technically, we know that this arc is 180 degrees. And since half of 180 is 90, inscribed angles that intercept diameters are always going to be 90. So I'm just going to do 13x minus 1 equals 90. We add 1 to both sides. And we get x equals 7. Okay. Let's take a look at number 10. All right, number 10. It almost at first glance looks like YW is a diameter, but it's not because it doesn't go through the circle, okay? Or through the center, sorry. So what I could think of is we have a triangle here. So if I knew what this last angle was equal to, I'd be able to add up all 3 angles in my triangle and set them equal to 180. So I'm going to take a look, and I notice that my inscribed angle intercepts this arc, which is 78. So the measure of angle XYW is half of that arc, which gives me 39 degrees. So now that I have all 3 angles in my triangle labeled, I can do 114 plus 39 plus 7x plus 6 equals 180, because it's a triangle. And remember, triangles always add up to 180. So now we combine all of our like terms. We get 159 plus 7x equals 180. I'm going to subtract 159 from both sides. We get 7x equals 21. Dividing by 7, x equals 3. Okay? All right, next one. I don't have a triangle, so I'm not necessarily going to think of it in terms of triangles, but I do see that if I have this angle labeled, it would be equal to half of the measure of arc AC. So the measure of angle ABC is equal to 1/2 the measure of arc AC. The only issue is I don't have the measure of arc AC. However, I can find the measure of arc AC by adding up the 2 that I already have and subtracting from 360. So we have 162 plus 92. That gives me 254. And then 360 minus 254 gives me 106. So this is 106 degrees. And now we just sub in, instead of the measure of angle ABC, I'm going to put 7x minus 10 equals 1/2 of 106. Half of 106 is 53. Add 10. 7x equals 63. And then finally, x equals 9. All right, number 12 looks like it might be a little bit similar. We're going to have to find that missing arc, I think. So let's take a look. I've got my inscribed angle QRS, and I've got this arc that's not labeled. So the measure of angle QRS is equal to 1/2 the measure of arc QS. The measure of angle QRS I already have, 67 equals 1/2 the measure of arc QS. Now to undo a 1/2, I just multiply both sides by 2. Because remember, the arc is always bigger than the inscribed angle. So 67 times 2 gives me 134. Okay, so this is 134. But they're asking us to solve for x. So now that I have all of the angles, or all of the arcs rather, labeled around the circle, I can add them all up, set them equal to 360. 120 plus 5x plus 21 plus 134 equals 360. 120 plus 21 plus 134 gives me 275. Plus 5x equals 360. I'm going to subtract 275 from both sides. I get 5x equals 85, and x is equal to 17. All right, number 13. So 13 kind of looks like a word problem, but in reality, they just didn't label the things that they're giving you. You just have to go through and label them. So I'm going to go through and label everything first. So angle FGH is 6x plus 21. So this is 6x plus 21. Arc FJH is 17x minus 28. So I'm going to label that this way. Yeah, and that's it. Okay, so again, we've got our inscribed angle, FGH, and we've got its intercepted arc. So the measure of angle, FGH, is equal to 1/2 the measure of arc, FJH. And I have to label that arc with 3 letters because it's a major. It's bigger than half of the circle. So now we just replace 6x plus 21 is equal to 1/2 17x minus 28. We're going to distribute our 1/2 first. 6x plus 21 equals, all right, half of 17. That's going to have a decimal, but that's okay. 8.5x minus 14. I'm going to subtract 6x from both sides to start. And that cancels. We get 2.5x, or sorry, 21 equals 2.5x. Minus 14. We'll add 14 to both sides. 35 equals 2.5x. Divide by 2.5. We get x is 14. Okay, but we're not done because they want us to find ultimately the measure of angle, or sorry, arc FJH. So we're just going to plug that back in. The measure of arc FJH is equal to 17 times 14 minus 28. And the measure of arc FJH is, let's see, 17 times 14 minus 28 gives me 210 degrees. And that is our final answer. Okay? All right, next one. Let's label what we've got. The measure of angle STU is 5x minus 16. And the measure of arc SU is 12x minus 50. So this is going to be a similar setup. Okay, we've got our inscribed angle, and we've got the arc that it intercepts. So I know that the measure of angle STU is 1/2 the measure of arc SU. So 5x minus 16 is 1/2 12x minus 50. We distribute our 1/2. I'm going to subtract 5x. We get negative 16 equals x minus 25. Add 25 to both sides. And we get x is equal to 9. But again, they want the measure of angle STU. So the measure of angle STU is equal to 5 times 9 minus 16. The measure of angle STU is 29 degrees. All right, number 15. All right, this one looks like a little bit more involved. We've got some more lines going on here. So the measure of angle ABD, right there, is 6x plus 26. And the measure of angle ACD, which is right here, is 13x minus 9. They want us to find the measure of arc AD. Okay, so looking at this, we really don't have much information to go off of. They don't give us any arc measures. But if you look at these two inscribed angles, okay, there's one, and here's the arc that goes along with it. And then if we highlight the other one, it goes along with the same exact arc. That means these two angles are equal. They're the same size. So I can set 6x plus 26 equal to 13x minus 9. We get 26 equals 7x minus 9. Let's add 9 to both sides. We get x equals 5. Okay, but they want the measure of arc AD. So the measure of arc AD, okay, is going to be double either one of those inscribed angles. So I'm just going to go with the measure of angle ABD. So the measure of angle ABD is equal to 1/2 the measure of arc AD. I know that the measure of angle ABD is 6 times 5 plus 26. Okay, and that gives me 56. In order to get the arc measure, we now multiply by 2, and I get that the measure of arc AD is 112 degrees. All right, last but not least, we've got number 16. All right, we have the measure of angle KJL is 3x plus 2. So 3x plus 2. KLJ is 7x minus 32. And it says find the measure of arc KL. Okay, so in order to find the measure of arc KL, I need to know the numerical value for the measure of angle KJL. Right, so we've got a triangle here. So in order to do this, I know that angle K is a right angle because it is opposite from a diameter. So in order to find x, we're going to set up 90 plus 3x plus 2 plus 7x minus 32 equals 180. And again, it's 180 because it is a triangle. Okay, we combine all of our like terms. We've got 90 plus 2 plus negative 32 gives me 60. And then 3x and 7x gives me 10x. I'm going to subtract 60. We get 10x equals 120. And then divide by 10, x equals 12. Okay, so now I know that the measure of measure of angle, I should say, KJL is equal to 1/2 the measure of arc KL. I know the measure of angle KJL is 3 times 12 plus 2. So we've got 36, 38. And then I can multiply both sides by 2, and I get that the measure of arc KL is 76 degrees. All right, okay, So that is all you guys need to do for today. You're trying these problems, you're checking your answers with the video, so on and so forth. You don't have to submit anything today. No submissions today. Just be sure you ask questions if you have them, so that we can continue moving through with our unit on circles. All right? Okay, have a great day, you guys. I will see you next time.